Packing it up as you go.
Yep.
Time to make the video today. Hi, I'm Zach Setawong, and on today's video, we're going to do something just a little bit different for today's build. On Rust-Oleum's website, they have a creators studio. It's a pretty awesome community that I'm a part of, where they come up with lots of different challenges. And this month, it was the Spooky Swap Challenge, where someone would randomly send me something, and I would have to come up with something to turn it into. So let's see what's in the box and what I have to work with.
Hello.
A random bottle with no label or anything. A encyclopedia. Today's letter is S. A weird Victorian frame thing with a broken, shattered piece of glass. There's some glass in there. Maybe the glass wasn't supposed to be broken. Plastic leaves. I got it. The weight of this book reminds me of something. It's nice and heavy. The color of it, the texture. When it hits me on the back of the head, I can only think of 12 years of Catholic school. Being hit on the head with the Bible. Good. So, the obvious choice for what we're going to make is a crossbow. Have you ever seen the movie Constantine? I think he's an angel, I'm not sure, but he fights for the Catholic Church and he goes out there and he hunts down demons. So we're going to flip it on its head and make a crossbow to fight for the other side. People gonna unsubscribe to your channel now. Now to take this to the belt sander and give it a little bit more shape, same with this, and that can stay like it is right now. So I didn't need to drill that many holes. I forgot that I had the scroll saw right next to it, which I don't use very much. So we got our basic bottom, I don't know what you want to call this, pistol grip receiver handle part. I made a little part here for your thumb and your fingers to go in there, a trigger, and a bolt slide. Carved out the bow part. That's looking pretty good. And then I cut this down a little thinner. It's starting to look like what it should. Inside the book here, there's a really cool page on the spinal column. See it? I'm gonna take that page, then another page about sulfuric acid. And I'm gonna take those and make those the middle of the book. Now, I'm a bit worried that this portion of it is going to tear the pages. I don't want to just shred the whole inside of the book. Do I just hope for the best? Will it grab here and tear the pages, or is it better to cut them with the X-Acto blade? I don't know. Could have a huge mess here. Don't want a huge mess. Want this to work. I can see you. Whoo, that book stinkish. The whole kind of looks like a little cowboy with a sombrero. Hey, good morning. Now, this piece of wood here is going to make the perfect back end, the stock for crossbow, like this. Take my bottle, and I'm going to inlay the bottle into here, carve that into that, and then carve the back of this so that it fits onto the receiver. It's going to take some time. While I'm doing that, I'm going to get to work on prepping these for their finishes. I'm going to go with these two. It's going to be my base color. This is going to be all my little accessories. It's going to be dark like that. This piece of wood here, I really dig the color that is already there. So I'm only going to do the bottom part. So I'm going to fade it on so that when they attach, it looks like one piece. For the bow part here, since I want it to look like wood still, I'm gonna take some Varathane weathered oak and I'm gonna put it all over it, kind of make it patchy, and then take a little bit of this black stain and kind of like hit the highlights of it, then dry it all really fast. You can see where I'm being like really splotchy with this, and that is on purpose. That looks good. Nice underworld death color. Okay, so while everything's drying outside, I need to figure out how I can inlay this bottle into the handle or the butt stock, whatever, a piece of wood. I think on the bandsaw, I can cut off about 1 inch, and that'll give me something to work with, and then I can start chiseling away and inlay it from there. Zach, you know you're just kind of making it up as you go? Yep. I'll just scribe this out, get my basic shape here. I'm just gonna go and take out a bunch of material. I'll set a depth on the drill press. Once I do that, I'll come back and chisel it away. If you were doing this at home, you probably wanna lock this thing down, clamp it, and then do your thing. Because that would be the safe way to do it. Don't do what I'm doing. Look how easy that was, carved all that out. Now I know you're thinking, why would I tell you not to use that machine that way to auger out the inside? The reason is this: sometimes that machine will grab the wood, spin it, and when it spins, it can either break your hand, worse, pull your hand into the blade, not good, or it'll come around and hit you and break your arm. All those things can happen. So remember, shop safety first. Don't do what I just did. But anyways, this looks cool. So I need to chisel this out. So we are making progress. It's a bit frustrating and a bit slow. Some of you out there, some finer craftsmen out there, must be thinking, why using the cheap bargain basement chisels? I thought you were a real world worker. Well, I don't really chisel much. And does the tool really matter? Yes, yes it does. Come on! I mean, I've even seen guys before chiseling, and they're just using a rubber mallet. Who uses a rubber mallet? Go get a real hammer out of the door. It's only 2 feet away. But maybe I'm too lazy. Maybe. I think the wood is winning. Go in there. Go in there. So I did give up on the chisel, and I went over back to the drill press and augered it out a little bit more. Did a pretty good job. Now it fits. Yay! All I need to do now is sand down the edges there a bit so it's not as gnarly. I kind of like it a little gnarly, but just a little less gnarly. So to catch you guys up to where I'm at, I have taken some hot glue and glued the bottle and the receiver and the stock here all together as one piece. The bow part here, I like it. Came out pretty good and it's dry. And the top part, well, I like the finish up here. I do not like it here. So I'm gonna take a butane torch and burn the back. So now that we're all charred, the only problem is you get soot all over your hands. I'm just gonna take a little bit of matte clear, do a light dusting over the top of these pieces, and we'll be good to go. So I think I need to make a trigger, and I need to make the latch part back here where the bow gets pulled and it's the part that's gonna fling it forward. They're not real, they're just gonna be fake. So I'm just gonna carve something out of wood real quick. Bam! There we go. Back of the trigger, carved out and painted a coppery color, bronzish copper, and the trigger in here. So all I need to do is glue these in place. For the wire that goes around and gets pulled back, I had this, I think it was part of a bicycle cable, but I had 2 of them. Pulled the black off. Get rid of that. And I'm just gonna thread it through the holes that I made in the front here at first, around the back. And I got this piece of pipe, and I don't know what this is. Something. So that's Gonna fit in there like that. I need to route this tube, and I think I'm just gonna make it look like it's going into the wood here. So I really like how the vines add this organic feel of like rot and decay to the piece. It's tea from the dead. Actually, this biofuel looking substance here is highlighter dropped into water. Turned into this cool neon thing. I don't think you should drink it, that's for sure. But we're gonna make this our toxin biofuel. And it will sit in these 3 cylinders here that are gonna be glued to the top. Weapon fits nicely in the hand. So now this demon weapon just needs a name, and I'm thinking the Tree of Knowledge fits it perfectly. I didn't use the picture frame or the fake leaves, but I did use the bottle and the encyclopedia. I did use 2 out of the 4, so I think that's pretty good. The rest of this is all wood from a dumpster and a tree that I found out in the woods. So let's talk through the story. We have our encyclopedia here, opened up to the spinal column and sulfuric acid on the other side. You have the actual tree infused with the bottle. And inside of it is parts of the tree that are living and moving in this red viscous liquid. There's also a second dose of sulfuric acid going down in, trickling on to these 9-inch rusty nails. Such a dark weapon, Zach. And that's the end of another build. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, go ahead and watch one of these other ones that Google is suggesting to you. And my name is Zach Setawong. Go out there and make something. Fight for the dark zone!
Hey little tree, yeah. You look like a demon weapon. You look like a demon weapon.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Total build time took me around 14 hours on this one, and cost, I don't know, I had stuff lying around that was scrapped, little tiny bottles, I don't know, 10 bucks. Everything else was free. See ya. Oh, I cannot talk this morning. You need to get more coffee in you. Got this. Why am I saying okay all the time? Maybe I shouldn't say okay. Maybe I should say something else. Everybody was dumpster diving. That doesn't make any sense what you're saying. You're kind of just burbling along. Okay, Google, give me some symbols for the undead.
According to Wikipedia, Oklahoma is a state in the south central and southern plains region of the United States.
Time to make a video.